Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This week's episode we're going to be focusing on replacing the shock towers on the 1971 Datsun 240Z. So I already have the old ones cut out. I'll show you everything on what it takes to replace the shock towers, on how to take them out and weld them in, clean them up, all that fun stuff. So alright, let's get right into it. So as I was saying previously on the last episode, the reason why I'm doing this is the donor shock towers. It seems like they were trying to put in some camber plates in the stock one, so they cut all this out here, and they were messing around on the side here. So I just wanted to leave everything all in one unit if I could. Cut them out the donor cart with the plasma cutter, and then I still have to clean everything all up on the sides. But I just want to leave one unit to replace everything with, and not have to worry about piecing everything together. That is such a structural component to holding the rear suspension up. Luckily on the front, they didn't mess with that at all, so lucked out there. Don't have to replace the front, just only the rears. All right, so I got the majority of the old strut bar off, or strut mount, I should say. So I just got all these spot welds out. I used 3 different tools for this. This air belt sander for hard to reach places to get in with that. Problem with that is you go through a lot of belts. So what I found out doing is just get this angle grinder with this cutoff wheel and just keep working where you find the spot welds, and then this saves a lot of material costs, and it's also a lot quicker too. You just gotta be careful because you don't want to go through too far like I did right here. I just gotta weld up that hole. So, and another tip, when it starts to turn a blue color, usually that means that you're through the panel, but when you know it turns blue, that means it's getting thinner, and you're usually through it. I gotta clean all these up. I scribed it by using a screwdriver where the old line was, just to make sure where I match up where the new one, when I clean that one up, I know where it goes and it's gonna mount up correctly and everything. So I'm gonna clean all this up, reprime it. Weld through primer is your friend here. You always want to use weld through on your seams when it's metal on metal, just to decrease the corrosion. I'll go on this other side here. Gotta get this bottom lip out still. No, also my third tool, forgot to mention, Sawzall. Get good blades for that because you'll run through those really quick and it's just annoying. So it's better off to spend a little bit more money to get the blades that last. So here's what it looks like on the other side. I always just circle where I need to drill the spot welds out, just so you get a little bit better of a view when you're grinding and everything. So gotta get all these out right here. There's a couple on the side here. I'll peel this back. Same thing on this, peel this back. We're saving this. So we're just getting rid of this portion right here. And then the new one can be ready to be laid back in. So it goes on the inside and then it curves around and then goes to this other side. Goes to this side. So outside and then goes on the inside right here. About an hour later, I finally have most of this ground off. I got from the back side, so that's why I was grinding from the back, just to not damage this lip, so the curvature will be matched up correctly when I put this in. I'm gonna either put this in the blast cabinet or just use a wire wheel to clean it up, treat the rust, repair any sections that need to be repaired. I still have to take all this stuff off the bottom here, so I gotta get all that from this side. So the spot welds are gonna be right down here, so I'll get all those out. I do have to fix this. I didn't see that before. Put a small patch in before I weld this whole thing in. Probably have about 16 hours just in one side so far, and I still have to do the other side. But long process, in the end it'll be worth it. All right, so I spent a good 3 or 4 hours cleaning this up. Finally got it down to bare metal. This is the donor. Just had a bunch of seam sealer, so I gotta still do the other side. I've been using this wire wheel. Takes a little bit of time, but it works pretty decent. Gotta finish this up, clean this off. They smeared a bunch of this. The factory just didn't care where they threw the seam sealer. So I'm just gonna grind this out and then just replace it with some new fresh seam sealer. So yeah, let me clean this off. I also cut out the old rust of where they spot welded it on the inside before. Cut all that out. Made a patch piece. Still have to cut it out, but gotta cut that out, weld it in. I don't know what these holes are for. I'm gonna weld those up just in case. Places that I can't get for the rust, I'm gonna be using this VHT rust converter spray. It's supposed to just neutralize the rust. When it turns a black color, that's when you know it's neutralized. The weld through primer I'm gonna be using on all the seams here, where it's gonna be going for the wheel wells, and right here as well. I'm gonna be using something called PBE. It's just a weld through primer. So it just has a lot of zinc in it basically that on contact it kind of heats up, liquefies, and then goes back to its paint form. So it serves as a better than nothing. If you're just doing metal on metal, it'll help prevent corrosion in the future. And then lastly, I'm gonna be using this Easy Coat. I've never tried this before, but I've heard good reviews about it. So this is supposed to be like inner panel paint. Parts like right here, I'm not gonna be using, the shock tower is gonna be going over that, and I'm not gonna be using the weld through primer on that. So it'll save on materials and be really good on corrosion resistance. The weld through is just gonna go basically on this line here, which I'll show you when I do it. It's supposed to be a one-stop step for that with the Easy Coat. So let me get on that. I'll clean that shock tower up. Got this pretty good, clean down here, but I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more right in here. I'm also gonna be putting the holes in to weld, just to spot weld it on there. So here's the tool that I use to punch holes in for welding, for spot welds. Okay, so how this works is you slip this over just like this, hook it up to the air gun, and then you just press it, and that clamps with these little dies in here, pushes it down, makes a hole. So it saves you a ton of time rather than getting a drill out and drilling all these spot welds out. Before I weld it in, I might reinforce this, just stitch weld it a little bit where these two panels meet on the top. right, so I reinforced some areas as best I could. I don't know if these holes are for the vinyl or not. There was nothing on when I got this donor car, so you can always re-drill this. Just gotta clean up these welds now. This is all welded in, the plate's nice and solid. Now all we have to do is what's called dress the welds. So that basically means just clean up. And I love to use this air belt sander for that, so you can get in there real good and clean those up, make it nice and flush. All right, got this all cleaned up, welded in, curvature is perfect on it. Got all these holes welded up, cleaned up the factory and my welds as well around the edge there. Pretty much ready to weld in. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of that VHT rust converter on, put some weld through primer on, and then I'll also do some of this stuff here that I gotta try, this easy coat, just all the inside. Finish prepping the area over here, finish cleaning all that up. Get it all weld through primer on it and the easy coat, and then we'll start welding it in. All right, so where all these spot welds are at, that's where I'm gonna be punching out the hole just to try to replicate the factory where they spot welded it. It's all random, but try to do as best as I can to get it where those old spot welds were at when I drilled them out. Same with the side. Everything along there I'll be punching out with the punch. All right, so got them as far as I could on the bottom there. I'm gonna have to get a drill and drill the ones towards the top here out more, just because the machine for the punch can't overlap it that much to get up top here. And also this was too thick on this end here. So I'm gonna have to use a drill, unfortunately, on this. Just take a little bit more time. All right, this is all cleaned up. I welded the hole right there that accidentally burned through when I was taking the old one off. I also got weld through primer all on the edge of this. Have the holes all drilled. I drilled more than I needed just to reinforce it a little bit more. So this should be all set. I then taped off where the curvature is gonna match up. Where this will be touching this, I made sure to put tape over this, because now I need to paint this right here with that easy coat black. So you get a red Scotch-Brite, scuff this to make sure you get proper adhesion, and then now I'm gonna throw some of that on. The reason why I taped that off, if it wasn't obvious, was the only primer you could use, or paint that you could use, is weld through primer. If I try to even penetrate through this, it's not gonna work. All right, let's put this in here finally. Just use like a dead blow hammer so you don't damage anything. Make sure you line up to your old mark. Lastly, I also did another measurement where right to the center of where the strut comes up. It's 30 inches and 3/4. 30 and 3/4. So this needs to go this way just a hair.